off camera there about the work that needs to be done. But I was looking at the stats. You've actually won 6 of your last 8. On the other hand, in the league, you've lost 7 of your last 11. So which of those stats do you think is a true representation of where you're at right now?
I think we should look at the performance because you have 2 ways of seeing the data, the games, and the wins and the losses. So it's the performance, and I think we need to improve a lot. We have some good moments in the game, but I think when you look at our game, we have a lot to do, a lot to improve, a lot of problems to solve. So I like in these moments when you have more time to think, I like to look at the performance, because in the long run that is going to make the difference, not what passed and not the wins or the losses before.
So I remember, or think back to a few of your press conferences actually, particularly I think of the one after Newcastle, where you were very downbeat. You're like, at the moment, the team's not progressing, it's not improving. If you take from that moment, has there been progress since then? Are you starting to see a few little seeds of improvement?
I feel it in some moments, like I said before, but not in all the game. And the consistency in football is really important to change the momentum. And sometimes we have 2 good games, and we win 2 matches, but then in the next game something happened, and we don't perform the way you're supposed to perform. And I think that is a biggest concern in the moment. But of course, you have more time, and if you have all the players, you can feel it that they are improving, they are understanding the way we want to play. But in the end, it's the results that can change that, and we struggle with that to have a lot of winnings in a row.
So what's top of the to-do list at the moment, or is that just too much for you to sort of order it like that?
Everything is connected. So in the moment you want to improve the way you play, but then you have to see if you have all the players to do that, and then you have that feeling that you need to win no matter what. And sometimes we take something from our idea and keep it to a new day, and when things are more calm, and focus a lot on the opponent and try to win that game to create the momentum, and then to return to the moment that you were explaining the way you want to play. So in this moment, I think it's to win games. That is the key point in the moment.
So from what you're saying there, is it mental as much as anything, the problems you're facing now? Mental more than tactical, maybe?
I think, especially in the last game, and you can see it that in the first half our possessions were really a little bit slow. The position is there, and we are losing balls without any strong pressure from the opponent. I think we have to improve on that. I think is a lot of our mistakes are mental, and if you are confident, we have players with quality that can play a different, no matter what the system or the way of playing of the coach outside. I think is clearly a mental thing, and also a lack of confidence playing football.
So, I mean, you've been asked about the system hundreds and hundreds of times already. Do you feel like what you want of the players tactically, physically, this group, maybe with a few additions in transfer windows to come, they can do it, but it's up here as much.
I think is a normal system. Of course, some of them didn't play in this system with 3 defenders. But if you look at some games, we play in the 4-4-2 defending. We did it last game. But sometimes it's more with the possession, the way we can handle the ball, and we show in some of the biggest games that we can do it. And the system was like normal. And it was the same, and then in some games we have a lack of confidence. It's harder for us. I understand that when we are a little bit the underdogs. We are more comfortable when you have to assume the game. We lack that spirit of we need to win, so we must do everything and we need to win no matter what this game when we struggle in that moment. So I understand the momentum of the players and especially the moment of the club. So it's really hard, this situation. We are doing everything to change it.
Do you have the sense at the moment that the players completely believe in the direction that, you know, when you're speaking to them in the changing room, when you're out on the training pitches behind us, do you think they completely get what you want, they're on board with what you want, or do you still feel a little bit like you're trying to convince them?
Yeah, every day you try to convince your players. I think you convince your players not just the way you speak and you show, and that I'm really clear on the direction that I want the players to do, but winning games and to have that feeling that we are playing really well with the ball. You are pushing the opponent for his own half. This is the things they will be convinced by. That it's not just words. And I understand that I was a football player for a long time. I think I know that they want, but I'm still convincing them that they should play this kind of ball.
So what is it? It's 20 games in charge now, around 4 months. Does it feel like a lot longer?
Yeah, yes, because it's ups and downs. It's a fight every day with everything. With a lot of media, then you have to cope with a lot of games in 2 days, and then when you are in this club, in any club, but in this club, and you cannot push for a lot of winnings in a row, you are always fighting, and that can be exhausted for not just for me, for everybody in the club and for the players. So we need to keep fighting and to focus just in the small things. And for me, the small thing is the next game. I'm really focused on the next game.
Do you really feel the weight of it, the responsibility to get this club back on its feet? I mean, you just walked in, you spoke to a young Manchester United fan when you walked into the room here, and you said, "Oh, sorry about right now." Does it feel like there's so many supporters of this huge football club. Do you feel the burden? Do you feel the weight of it being your job, basically, to get Manchester United somewhere near where they were?
No, it's an honor. But when you have that feeling in the funeral of Dennis Law, Kathy, the memorial of Monique, to face the fans in this kind of moments for me is really hard because they are so nice and they believe a lot in what we're trying to do, and they feel it that I want to help the club. But the hardest part is to face the fans in this moment. It's really hard to face the fans, but I'm doing everything to help my players in the club to be or to return in that position. Is going to take a lot of time, and people are tired of listening that for many coaches here. But we are in the very, very difficult situation. But we have to carry on, and to carry on, like I said, is the small things. It's trying to win the next game and then surviving this season.
I wonder if in Ange Postecoglou you see a kind of a fellow traveller, if you like, maybe different principles, but another guy completely dedicated, devoted to his principles. I did an interview with him a few weeks ago and I read your quote to him where you said if a coach changes, he's dead. You said something like that, and he was like, absolutely, couldn't agree more. So do you see a guy in Ange Postecoglou who's maybe different in what he wants, but similar in his conviction?
I'm a huge fan of Ange, and I told him that, and I told that before the game for the Cup, Carabao Cup. I think he's right, but I feel that I'm a coach that I change a lot to win games, and but I certain things I don't compromise. That is clear for me, and I feel that with Ange is the same thing. And that is, I think, if you look at to all the coaches that are here in English, all the top coaches, they are a little bit like that in different areas, but they don't compromise in certain things, and I'm one of them.
I know you've addressed this before. How important is that? So say the players came to you and said, "Look, you know, we were thinking maybe we adjust this, maybe we adjust that, whether it's formation or anything." No, we can't. You can't have that
because it's a hard situation. I will never change because a player is saying that. I will change everything if I feel that I'm closer to win games doing that. And to win games, everybody has to believe. When I feel that they don't believe, or the club don't believe, or we are stuck, I will the first one to say that it has to be a different person. And until then, I'm going to do my thing. It's not about the system, because I said that with time to work on this system can adapt to everything, and that is my goal. But for that we need trainings, we need to also different profiles, but everybody knows the situation of the club, that we arrive here in the middle of the season with a lot of games, and then the biggest thing, when you don't win, if you are winning, everything is so much easier. With the same time, with the same media, with the same problems, it should be so easier. But then we had some problems in the first moment with a lot of losses, and then it's really hard to turn things around.
Just wanted to ask you one question about off-field matters, but I hope it's a fair question. When the backdrop is redundancies, ticket prices, does that make your job more difficult in terms of the mood you're trying to create, the feel to get results, particularly at Old Trafford?
No, because I was trying to. My job is to win games and to help my players to perform. That is a different problem. I think we are making this adjust also because our team for a long period of time is not performing, and we are buying players, we are spending money, and then we don't have that returning. So it's on us that these problems, but so it's not the other way around. It's not. I don't want to say we are not performing because the mood is so. We have so many problems, and this doesn't help. It's not that the case. It's really hard on the persons, and everybody here in Manchester United knows that it's really hard on the club, and especially on the people that are losing jobs. The fans are always supporting us, that they are amazing, and we are increasing the tickets. We know that. I think it's our fault in the football department. So the only way to help is to win games, to go to Champions League, to have better kids in the academy, to bring them up. To when you need to the money, you sell the players, one kid or two kids, and then you don't increase, you don't fire a lot of people. So I think we need to step up as a football team in this big football club.
Thank you for answering that.
Thank you.